Back on. All right, guys, welcome up to Game 2 of this Best of 2 series. We have switched sides, and CODY Eats Waffles is now on the blue side with Lower Division Please on the purple side. If you're just joining us or missed Game 1, Lower Division Please won it in pretty convincing fashion in about just over 28 minutes. So short delay there, and we have a bit of a sub as one of the CODY Eats Waffles players had to go AFK. So we're getting into the second game, and so far, similar bands. The Oslo first band from CODY Eats Waffles, and the Zigs coming out first from Lower Division Please. So I have to see if they go anything different here, because definitely, gosh.
And they are taking away the Tristana, just like, I mean, that champ is just pretty much a problem in solo queue, and it might be pretty much a problem here as well.
Well, and definitely Lower Division Please got carried a little bit from their AD position last game, so definitely smart not to give him Tristana. Definitely don't want to give a guy like that a bigger carry. So we see the Lucian band out. And so far very similar bands here from both teams. Definitely have to see if the Rise gets banned out again, or maybe if CODY Eats Waffles might try and first pick it. It's kind of a late game champ, and we saw what happened in the mid game. Very smart adaptation there, banning that Kha'Zix. That was so deadly for Lower Division Please in that game. And we see Grokkus banned, so Lower Division Please just going with the exact same bans, and really no reason not to.
I mean, they played a really good first game, and CODY Eats Waffles just wasn't able to bring much of a threat from any of their players, so it just going with the same bans is just pretty good solid move from them.
We'll have to see what Lower Division Please decides to do, though, with this Kha'Zix ban. If they try and get their jungler early again and really try and put the game on his back, because they did it last game and it worked very well for them. But with that Morgana first pick here from CODY Eats Waffles, definitely a chance to stop anyone that tries to jump in with the Dark Binding, or you have Engage with the Soul Shackles as well. So we'll have to see what Lower Division Please tries to do with their first picks here. Do they go? They don't really have to worry about a support right now, and Corki possibly again here would be definitely a bit terrifying, I think, because we saw what he did in that last game, and he just kind of played safe through the early game and went off once the team fight started coming on. So
I mean, he did have a really impressive game. He went 10-1 and 12, and
yeah.
And I mean, just a 22 KD on the first game, that's got to be a pretty good confidence booster for him.
And the fact that CODY Eats Waffles obviously wanted to ban Tristana away from him, so he gets the Corki again. The Zen Child, not as powerful as like the Kha'Zix jump in, but still.
But he does have the early game spike, so if he wants to make some plays early game like he did last game, it's a pretty good solid pick for him.
And definitely this time, more of a safe laner here on the side of CODY Eats Waffles, going with the Caitlyn this time instead of the Twitch, and a smarter pick, I would think, because that Twitch fell so far behind in the lane phase. He didn't have much of a chance to do anything. And the Amumu jungle pick here, we're seeing the Crying Mummy coming out here from CODY Eats Waffles. And again, a decent bit of kind of engage so far coming out from CODY Eats Waffles. So we'll have to see if they kind of go with the same thought process as they did in that last game. Oh, this could be scary. If they get Rise Janna here.
I mean, just with the Janna pick, it'll completely negate the engage from Mumu if they try to do any kind of engage comp. And it looks like he's hovering over.
He's circling, but
Nami. Yeah.
He was really good on Nami, and that bot lane is very strong. Thresh wouldn't be a bad pick either, so gives Corki even more escape range, but the Rise is kind of scary here. And this time it looks like it will be running a teleport Rise, so he's going to actually be able to join the fights. And it's kind of interesting because it goes against this kind of early mid-game team so far, but it gives them a definitely someone to fall back on if this game does try and go long.
And when you look at their comp, like they have Chin Chao to do like that has that early game power, and then they can fall back on Corki who has that mid game power, and if it just goes long enough, like they have the right safety net just to put out a bunch of damage if it gets to pretty much late game.
And we'll definitely have to see what their mid lane is here, because that's definitely going to be see if what they're going to try and do with this comp, because right now it's a bit of a poke and a bit of an engage, so it's really going to be up to their mid laner to decide where this comp turns. But an Aurelia and a Xerath here, definitely a bit more of a poke comp coming out from CODY Eats Waffles, but still a good bit of engage as well. So it's kind of an all over the place team, and I'm interested to see what direction they take it.
I mean, the problem was last game that they did fall pretty far behind, and they just didn't really have much of wave clear to stall out the game for them to catch up. And like now with the Xerath pick, they're able to, if lower division police decides to pretty much siege, they have the Xerath wave clear to pretty much negate that and have that as a fallback to, you know, get the whole rest of the team farmed up and maybe make a comeback if they do fall pretty far behind, like again this game.
Well, there's a lot of wave clear on the side of CODY Eats Waffles. You have the Piltover Peacemakers from Caitlyn. You have the Aurelia ult that can clear waves. The Xerath is so good at clearing waves. It's going to be really hard to siege against this team. But the Zed pick might be saying that lower division please doesn't necessarily want to siege.
Yeah, I mean, even though they try to siege, they can always just have Zed split pressuring the outer lanes, and it's going to be interesting to see how both of these teams take these comps.
Well, and definitely come later game, once the Rise starts to gear up, this could easily go into a 1-3-1 with Corki and Zed in the solo lane. So it'll be interesting to see what route these teams take with it, because right now it definitely seems like lower division please, their comp is a little split in what it wants to do. But if you get Rise into a 1-3-1, as he's part of the 3, he can definitely keep people, keep CODY Eats Waffles at bay and let the split pushers do their job. So
I don't think we're gonna have a Xerath jungle this game, but
what?
They might just have a bit of a mix-up in trading. This is interesting.
Oh nope, they switched over. Okay, they switched over summoner spells.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really didn't think Xerath jungle was gonna be brought out. Maybe it could have been a cheese pick, but it just didn't seem unlikely.
Those Kappa faces, I would have wanted them spamming chat if that would have ended up happening. Good lord, if I don't know about that. That seems.
I mean, he does have the wave clear for the jungle camps, and if he runs 2 spell vamp quints, maybe it's viable.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's stop trying to make Xerath jungle a thing, okay? Not gonna happen. Not against an early game jungler, especially like Xin Shao, that would probably just kill Xerath if he tried to find him. So
yeah, that is true. But I mean, even with that, Amumu is gonna have a really tough time if Chin Shao decides to invade him early, just because like there's no way Amumu is gonna be able to 1v1 Chin Shao like pretty much anytime pre-6, and even then like Amumu's gonna have a tough time farming up if Chin Shao decides to take advantage of that weakness that he has.
Well, we also saw Boku Girl, that's now on Jin Chao, invading quite a bit on that Kha'Zix after the first blood. So if it's a similar start to last game, this Amumu could fall behind, and you really need him to get tanky before the team fights start. Otherwise, when he dives in, he's just going to get demolished, and then you're going to lose the team fight. So, and a lot of mobility as well here from lower division please. Like Corki can Valkyrie away, anyone can take a Thresh Lantern, Zed can just jump between shadows. Xerath hitting his ult's going to be a priority here to really try and do something against these teams.
It's just gonna be interesting which way they're gonna take it. Because I mean, they do have the Surf to fall back on in case they just need a like wave clear and just stall out the game. But it's just gonna be interesting what they're gonna do with it if they do manage to get a lead in this game.
Well, and just like last game, if once the Morgana starts roaming, if they find a single target, once a Mumu hits 6, there's lockdown there. Morgana's going to be able to bind you. Morgana's going to be able to soul shackle you. If they want to kill you and they find you out, you're going to die quickly. And you're not going to be able to move. So it's really going to be how well can lower division please collapse if CODY Eats Waffles starts trying to roam around the map and find the picks to really give them an early game edge in this one. But as you can see, guys, we're about 10 seconds away or so from getting into this. This is Game 2 of Lower Division Please versus CODY Eats Waffles, a DCS Week 1 matchup in the Upper Division. Lower Division Please took Game 1 and will be looking to take the series 2-0 and get the 3 points for this first week of the season, which would definitely be a huge boost because they are in a very tough group, arguably one of the toughest in this tournament right now. So loading onto the game, I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect from this one because both team comps can kind of do quite a bit of things well, but not one thing extremely well. Like there's not a major focus on poke last game, not a major focus on engage like last game. It's kind of a mixture on both sides. So
yeah, on both us, it's pretty much different pokes. We only have really much the Corky pretty much being consistent from both, at least from lower division please, but it just seems like a whole new, just both teams decided to go with something completely different.
Let's just move that chat box away because we don't need to see any trash talking going on. Okay, let's get these fixed. Stop here. There we go. Before I start questioning why the jungler bought a longsword, let me actually make sure the players are in the right position. We'll have to see here. Lower Division Please did a very good job last game getting early wards so that they were able to see any invade attempts. And with the scrying orb early on here for Xin Chao, gonna be interesting, but did he forget to buy pots or he just doesn't want any?
He might be trying not to give any information. He might. I've seen this one time where Diamond Prox, he only started with, he started actually with no items and he bought a blue pot as Evelyn and it actually worked out pretty well. He snowballed that game, but
yeah, come on now, that's Diamond Prox. This is a as much as I would love to say that this game is on that level, I'm not actually gonna take a jab at Gambit there like I probably could have about one of these teams being on that Gambit level this season. But we see there are a lot of members from both teams on this bot side river, so but a lot of wards down and in the correct pathing options here, so we'll have to see if either team tries anything, but
it does look like a normal start here.
It could be a pretty big fight if anything, if a team tries to late invade, because there are 8 members on this bottom side. So,
and I mean, I do love level 1 fights, but I don't think we're gonna get one this game.
No, it looks like it'll just be a bot side start for both teams, standard lanes. No level 1 first bloods this game. Xin Chao, however, taking a lot of damage, and without running pots, it's going to be hard for him to probably complete his first jungle clear quickly.
Although if he is going for a flare, he might have not bought pots just so he can get an early Madrids, because that's one way you can just clear your first 3
Good
camps.
dark binding here. There's a lot of damage on. Exhaust has to be burned from Thresh there. Sorry to cut you off, but Corky taken very low.
And it does look like Shinsha might be actually going with that. You go with the way it works is you pretty much buy one pot, and if you clear all your 3 jungle camps in any of the sides, you'll have enough gold just to get the early Madrid's Racers, and it does look like he's gonna go ahead and do that.
Well, let's see, because he still doesn't have his second buff. If I know Mumu probably doesn't know this, but if he ran to that buff, it would still be there, and he's actually crossing the river here. So this could actually be a bit of a win here for a Mumu if he can 3-buff this Xin Zhao early on. He's at that buff, or he's looking for Xin Zhao and doesn't find him, but if he looks for that buff, it's there. He can take it, but he's spending a lot of time just waiting. He's setting a trap here for Xin Zhao, and now goes in on the buff. So we'll have to definitely see. Xin Zhao's going to the golems first as well, so a Mumu might get a 3-buff start here. And he does indeed. Xin Zhao's going to be without a red buff for his first clear through here. And they have to know a Mumu's there now, so they're going to be... He's coming in on this Ryze, though, and Ryze is really far up in lane. Oh, good flash there. Will get away from the bandage toss there.
And we have a bunch of action coming down here on the bot lane. All 4 members pretty below 50% health, and it's getting pretty bloody down there.
Oh, but a Mumu landing the bandage toss up top. This should be first blood. It goes to a Mumu in that top lane, and that was not what Lower Division Please wanted. Was this a Mumu who's gonna have trouble if Xin Zhao finds him? He gets a 3-buff start and gets first blood gold, and Corki cannot stay in this lane. The Caitlyn range is so long that if he just tries to make a move here, he's going to die, and the Xerath poke is pushing Zed out of this lane. Yes, Zed has the 7 CS lead. Xin Zhao's coming, but Amumu's there as well. They jump in. Zed burns heal. Amumu gets the stun, but this is a fight here. Zed can't really jump in, though, and Xin Zhao's going to go down to the red buff tick. That ends up being a 1-for-1 trade there. Zed and Amumu picking up the kills. And Zed needs to be a little careful. If Amumu's feeling frisky enough, he might go in on him. He is, and he gets the stun. That could be a kill. The red buff's ticking, but it will not be enough here, as Zed's just going to walk away. But he can't stay in lane. That happens again, and he's going to die. Definitely a much cleaner start, it seems, from CODY Eats Waffles in this game. Relia with the early... Vamp Scepter is going to be able to sustain along with that flask, and we'll definitely have to see what Lower Division Please's response here to this is, as they're starting to fall behind a little bit. It doesn't seem like it in the CS numbers, but 500 gold at this point to a team that could beat you in the mid game if they get the right lead. That sounds really vague, because a lot of teams can beat you if they get the mid game lead. But this is a team you definitely don't want to give mid-game to, with Xerath and Caitlyn.
And without a Mumu already purchasing a Phoenix Codex, he's going to be able to finish his jungle item pretty quickly, and he might be able to snowball the lanes just because he has that lead. Just with those 2 kills, he does not have that weak early game that most moves have.
Well, and look what they've caused Zed to do. He goes first item Hex Drinker. Xin Zhao here jumping on. Ult coming out, I believe, but it wasn't even necessary, really. They just blew up Xerath there, and Xin Zhao's the one that picks up the kill. That might be what they needed a little bit here, is that was very clean. Amumu didn't even have time to respond to that one, and ult's going down here from both sides, but a really even trade. That last little blade getting Ryze flashing, but both of them are flashing, but both of them are staying in lane as well. So, whew, that was a loud thing.
Right here, it might be just both top laners trying to see who's going to make the first move and who's going to get punished for it, just because they're both staying in lane. It looks like Xin Zhao's coming up with the lane gang.
He came up, but he came up through the tri-bush. They know he's there. There is a very nice ward there in that tri-bush. So, and Aurelia's pushed so far in, you don't really want to turret dive on Aurelia that can stun you at this point in the game. Oof, hook lands. Black Shield just not quite early enough. Morgana doesn't hit the Dark Binding, and a good trade there from Lower Division Please, getting a decent bit of damage. Aurelia should know Xin Zhao's still there. He hadn't really showed anywhere else yet. But I don't know if they don't think that they're going to stick around that long. And a good bit of damage already from that Corky Phosphorus Bomb. They know where Amumu is. They see him with the pink ward, so they might try something. Aurelia jumps in on Rise. Xin Shao's still there, shows himself, gets the stun up, and forcing the flash out of Aurelia. The flash and the ultimate coming out there. So it was a long time coming, but now you have a good window there to return and get another gank in that lane.
But it does look like Rise is going to go ahead and back.
Oh, Amumu found himself, and he has help there. That's a dead Xin Shao. Easy kill pickup there from Xerath, and that was unfortunate because that actually was a very good gank. We see Morgana getting the Soul Shackles in, will get the stun up onto Rise, and Corky taking so much damage, needs to stay out of, needs to get away. Caitlyn does not quite have level 6, so can't use the ace in the hole yet, and it's probably a good thing too, because that could have been a dead Corky if they had it. Oh, they're going to try it, but I think Corky has too much health. Yes. So, bit of a wasted ult, and Zed's coming. Did they see him? I think they know he was coming. I don't know that they saw him, though. Oof. Good stopping there. Going to stop Zed from getting anything going. Binding lands onto Morgana, but the Xerath is going to kind of force them away, and he just gets one lucky pot shot onto Thresh there. Nothing really doing. There's a lot of members down here, though.
And it does look like Aurelia's actually going to go first item Blade of the Ruined King, which I find it kind of odd just because, like, with Aurelia, you usually want to rush Trinity Force for that mid-game spike that you always get.
Definitely Aurelia is going to be looking to stay in this solo matchup versus Rise early and forces the flash out just on a trade. So it's looking like the early Cutlass could be the good item here for Aurelia. But we'll have to see. Xin Shao's coming in. Can he get the stun? Aurelia just going to stun right back. And the flash in tries to get it, but he's going so deep under turret. Wow, the turnaround from Aurelia there. And he's going to get Rise dying under turret trying to help out Xin Shao there. That was not as disastrous as it could have been because that could have been an Aurelia double kill. So luckily for lower division, please, Aurelia only got one. But still, that was not what Xin Shao wanted. Second time now we've seen... in this series, we've seen him go too deep under turret.
And it's just like he just has not been able to get the ganks that he needs. At least
oh, Corky going in, but Amumu's there. Dark Binding lands, ult coming in from Amumu, and that was not a good time to go in. They're going to give the second kill over to Caitlyn, it looks like here. No, Morgana picking up the double kill. The bloodthirsty support wanting all the gold. But wow, that was an aggressive play from lower division, please, too, because Corky landed a big one and then just Valkyried in. But Amumu wonderfully placed there and knew exactly that was coming. They do see this dragon attempt, but Xin Shao's too far away to attempt to steal here. And he better not get close because he could get taken down. This is a much better early game here from CODY Eats Waffles to really try and even the series at 1-1 to end it.
I mean, they are behind 3K gold at 12 minutes, actually, and it's just... this early game is just not looking very well for...
Well, no, you're 3K gold down. Corky just got the Phage. He was almost at his training force at this point last game. Rise doesn't have the Rod yet, so he's going to be stacking late into this mid-game. And Zed still doesn't have a Bork yet because he went the first item Hex Drinker. So definitely a lot weaker mid-game here for lower division please than what they were able to get last game. And that's when they really turned this. And Xerath is looking like a first item Zonya's here, so he's definitely not really going to get picked off by this Zed. And we see a Mumu with the Spectral Wraith item and the Moby Boots going to be looking to just go flying around this map. Zed can't do much in this lane right now. Guess you're up 30 CS, but this Xerath is going to just start powering up. This Zed really needs to do something for the team at this point.
And I mean, once CODY Eats Waffles starts grouping up, like, they're going to have so much poke just because of the Xerath pick. Like, they start sieging, I don't know what the response is going to be from lower division, please.
We'll have to see. Look at the Hex Shrinkers coming out here from lower division, please. They're definitely worried about the early damage that's coming on here. Amumu's going to get a blue steal possibly. Corky's not quite able to get it with the phosphorus bomb, and Amumu's jumping in, but might trade the buff over. No way. Corky gets away there in this fight. Oh, nope. Ace in the hole is able to land, and all of a sudden this fight is turning around again for CODY Eats Waffles. There's 2 kills, and they keep going. They're trying. There's the 3rd kill. Zed's there, but there's a Caitlyn. He gets the kill into Morgana, but whew.
So it's a 3 for
2.
True.
Yeah, 3 for 2 overall there, but I don't know. I don't know who did the blue buff end up on after all of that.
It looks like Zed got it just because he was able to kill the Morgana.
But
this is interesting right here.
yeah, I'm not honestly sure. I think
Actually, yeah, because Zed got 2 kills.
yeah, Zed has double buffs, so he would. Oh, but Aurelia going in deep should be able to actually get the solo kill here. Rise just barely surviving. Aurelia not wanting to flash under the turret for that, and probably smart. That probably would have just been a 1-for-1 trade if they attempted that. Xin Zhao not quite there in time to find the backing Aurelia, so let's see. Rise should be able to finish the rod here, possibly. Not quite. Nope, he does not quite have the money, it seems, for the rod. And we're hitting 15 minutes now, so that rod's going to be stacking past 25 minutes.
And unfortunately, like, at this point, Rice is still in his mana building stage, and like he's just, this Aurelia is just putting out so much damage onto him, and any of the damage that Rice does try to put on her, she's just life-stealing it back away.
And same in this mid lane, like Zed's going to do damage, but he's not going to solo because that Zhonya's can just be popped if Zed tries to deathmark in, so definitely have to see. We'll have to see if what the carries trying to do here. Both carries are getting close to their first major item. I'm not sure which. Oh, that thought can wait. We have fight in the top lane. They should get the kill. Aurelia using the good rune prison there from Raj, gonna pick up the kill. Fight in bot lane as well. Corky taken low, but so is Thresh is gonna pay for his life. The Dark Binding picking up the kill there.
That's the 4th kill secured there by the Morgana support.
Oh, wow, this Amumu might pick up a double kill here. He gets one, but he's not going to quite get the second one. Xin Zhao picks up the kill, but Xerath, nice roam up there to get the kill and the 2-for-1 trade. And this is just starting to swing in CODY Eats Waffles' favor. Almost 5k gold. It should be 5k gold when this tower falls. And the lead's just getting better and better here for CODY Eats Waffles.
And it does look like Russ was now able to pick up that Rod of Ages from that last kill.
Yeah, but it's just like the Maokai last game. That thing's going to be stacking until 26 minutes, so.
And I mean, yes, they do have some wave clear with the Zed, and they have some with the phosphorus bombs from Corky, but they're really going to have to find a way to stall this game out for that Rice to pretty much get big, and just so they can pretty much outscale them into the late game.
Well, and how do you siege with this team? Yes, you have Corky that's not bad at it, but Rise is a terrible person to take turrets, and Zed's melee. Zed has to get really up close and personal, so with all the engage on the side of CODY Eats Waffles, I don't see this going well. And we see a Mumu engaging in, and Xerath doesn't have ult, so he should... Zed's going to get away, but look at all that damage, and Xin Zhao's trying to jump into Xerath, but Amumu's still there. He jumps in. Zhonya's coming out from Xerath. The ult coming out of Xin Zhao. They're just popping away. Zed jumps in with the death mark, and Xerath is actually the first casualty going over to Xin Zhao. This is a 2v1 now, but Amumu, not quite able to get the kill before the red buff takes him down, and that ended up being a 2-for-1. But more fights in this bot lane. We see heals going down on both sides, and Morgana trying to get the damage, not going to quite get the last kill. Double kill for Corki there. Aurelia taking down Ryze in top lane, and fights all over the map. But that overall across the map, that was a 4 for 2 for lower division please, and they're going to get a turret. But it looks like Aurelia should be able to answer with this turret top lane. So overall, a bit of a win there for lower division please. Definitely the fact that they were down in gold. They closed the gold lead by about 1,000, but still, this is quite terrifying, I would think, for lower division please.
I mean, they are getting, the reason they won that is just because they were able to get the right picks in that jungle. There was a Mumu Seraph who was out of position, and then Amumu was able to come in, but he came in kind of late, and then with Seraph's popping the Sonias, like Zed was just able to eliminate him pretty easily because there was no Sonias to protect him.
Well, I also think we answered who's stronger in that mid game. Is that Triforce Corki damage is, well, here we go. We might get the answer here. Is Caitlyn's actually winning this matchup, has the ace in the hole. Oh, Corki survived it. I'm curious how much health Corki had there, but being taken so low just allowed an easy dragon for CODY Eats Waffles and bumps the gold lead right back up to 5,000 again. But that was a very nice play there from Caitlyn to net away from the phosphorus bomb, because that would have been such a big chunk of damage that Corki really could have attempted to go in on that. Xin Chao's coming around, but he's warded, and there's multiple people there. Look at this lockdown. That's a dead Xin Chao. That's what I was talking about in the pick and ban. If they find a target, they're gonna lock them down, and they're not gonna go anywhere for a while.
And I mean, Xin Chao does have his ultimate to peel away from himself, but that Morgana spell shield is just gonna negate that possibility.
Well, and CODY Eats Waffles is trying to find Zed here, but the ward there by the white will keep them. But kind of taking a look at some items, it looks like Aurelia is now going Trinity Force. But the Mumu Void Staff is going to be hurting quite a bit. And we'll just have to see. Oh, it's going to land. Zed went in on that? He gets the 1-for-1 trade, but
it was just for the support, so I mean, mid laner for support just
yeah, and Ryze is gonna die. Oh, the jukes! He tried it! Is he gonna get away? No way!
He lives.
Can Xin Chao pick up the kill? He's gonna try for it. Anyone watching? That was big play nominee right there. Beautiful play by Ryze, going the flash juke, going into the bush, and then getting the rune prison.
I mean, it was just all that spell vamp that he does have, and I mean, just by having the enough armor, he was able to sustain through all that damage from Aurelia. It's just,
that was nicely played there, and definitely pulling my inner caster here and saying that if this game turns around from that, that's definitely a big play, because that would have fed Aurelia another kill at this point in the game. And once Aurelia gets that Trinity Force along with the Blade the Rune King, that's scary.
She's just gonna deal so much damage. Like, she's gonna be able to stick onto Corki, even maybe, and like, it's just, you don't want to fed Aurelia going around, queuing your whole team. We
were talking about the wave clear here from CODY Eats Waffles. Caitlyn's looking to go a second item, probably Static Shiv, so that wave clear is just going to get that much better. It's going to be so hard to siege against this team, even if you're ahead, much less 5,000 gold behind. And we see Zed does finish off his Bork now, so he can maybe start getting into a bit of a split push mode, but against who?
Yeah, it looks like Amumu's actually going full AP this game, which is quite interesting. I don't know if that's because he saw that full AP Amumu montage, but...
Well, we see Aurelia going in deep, but there's a Xin Chao there, but there's an Amumu there as well. Ult's being burned all around. Ryze is getting locked down here and will go down, and this should be 2 killed for nothing here. Xin Chao's going to go in on Aurelia, but double kill for Amumu, and that was catastrophic a bit for lower division please here. Yes, it's Amumu that got the double kill, but Aurelia got 2 more assists.
But I mean, if you look at it, like, Amumu's going full AP, so giving him 2 kills is just going to be really scary.
And it's going to give them a lot of damage onto this turret, and it just forces Rise that much further behind as well. Like, it's not as much that it puts... they're going to get this turret. Holy crap. That was a Rise TP used too. Zed's going to go in and try and pick something up here, but they might turn this on him. Deathmark's going to pop. Amumu doesn't go down.
That was a beautiful juke.
And Zed had to flash away from that because Aurelia could have kept chasing. So they're going to get a mid turret because Zed just roamed up top. And CODY Eats Waffle is definitely making the rotations this game that they weren't making last game. And with this wave clear, they're such a scary siege team themselves. It's really going to be tough here for lower division please to do much about this at this point.
I mean, because, yeah, this siege comp is just so scary. They have the Caitlyn range, they have the Xerath poke and wave clear, they have the Amumu full engage, and
look at the gold totals here. Every member of CODY Eats Waffles is sitting above 1,000 gold in pocket. So they're going to go back probably, if they go back before this dragon and buy, there's not much that lower division please can do to contest it, because there's a CODY Eats Waffles is winning these fights and they're not fully gold efficient because they all have gold on them. So it's definitely going to be scary. We saw the Michaelis come out early for Morgana. That's definitely going to help against this comp. And it's looking like this will be the 3rd Zhonya's on the side of CODY Eats Waffles. There isn't going to be anyone you can lock up if you're Zed.
Because, I mean, if you go for the Aurelia, you're just going to get stunned. If you go for Caitlyn, she has the Mikhails, she has the net. Like, it's just going to be really hard to even get to Caitlyn just because of that range, if she's positioned right.
And Xerath is going to start hurting, finishing off his death gap. He's now got the AP to do a decent bit of damage. And did that Dark Binding hit Zed as he jumped the shadow? The camera didn't follow it enough, but that would have been awesome if it did. But lower division please is set up poorly for this dragon. They need to attempt to try and get this, because this will push the gold lead to almost 10,000 at this point. And against this type of siege team, they're giving this dragon away for free. This is bad. There's nothing else to say, but this is bad, because they're not going to be able to defend a siege against this style of team from CODY Eats Waffles, and Aurelia's just going to keep split pushing. The training force is almost finished, and there's not going to be a single person on the side of lower division please that can stop the Aurelia split push. The poke, it's almost like this game flips scripts. The poke from CODY Eats Waffles, Corky's having to lifesteal because he was down to half health from a Xerath go, and he's going on to Morgana, and there's a Xin Chao there. There's a Xerath there though as well, and Morgana's gonna try and get away, but that's nothing doing. They get a kill, but Thresh is really low, and here comes Caitlyn going actually with the Phantom Dancer. Zed's gonna jump in, but he's jumping into 3 members and just has to back out immediately. Deathmark pops, but Caitlyn stays alive, and Zed not quite death, but Amumu's there. He might have to try and get the juke here. But Amumu landing the Banstraws, that's a dead Zed. And Amumu's just going to walk away from the turret.
I mean, like, yeah, like I was saying earlier, like, Zed was able to get on Caitlyn, but, like, she just, like, had so much peel. She, like, there was just no way that you can burst down that Caitlyn, especially with that range. And it's going to be really tough for them to come back from this.
And I'm a little surprised to see Aurelia with the team here, because no one would be able to stop an Aurelia split push at this point. Xin Chao's going in, and he's trying. He's under his turret, but he goes down immediately. Teleport in from Rise is going to try and get in. He gets one. Flash from Corky. They're going to try and keep chasing this, but they're just, you can't chase this because you have 2 people from CODY Eats Waffles pushing down your mid lane. While you're trying to go for this, Xerath ult's going to stop, or at least get some damage here, and Caitlyn having this much time on this turret, it's going down. They're going to, well, the turret stays alive. Thresh is coming in. He burns Talisman. Rise jumps in. Flash burn from Caitlyn. Thresh hook hits. Oh, my goodness. That was a great Thresh hook there. full length there, catching Caitlyn. Rise being able to pick up the kill. And Caitlyn's down for 30 seconds here. Let's see if Lower Division Please tries to do anything with this. Or if they just... I don't know what they would try and do here, but they need to try and do something. Because at this point, Caitlyn's going to come back up, and they're not going to be able to do too much. So...
I mean, yeah, there's just look at this. We have Xerath wave clears. They had a really good pick, but they just couldn't really turn that into any objectives.
And look at what Amumu is doing instead in terms of Magic Pin here. He's got a Void Staff. He's looking like he's trying to finish up the Leandries. Yes, there's a little bit of magic resist on the side of Lower Division Please, but that's going to be nothing to Amumu right now. And Rise, the tier is fully stacked now. He has the Frozen Heart, or the Rod of Ages is fully stacked. The tier is fully stacked. I thought he'd be upgrading that, but I don't think he's had the money yet because he's had to go defensive. And look at Corki. He's going to take so much damage from the poke. Yes, it was an ult from Caitlyn, but your main wave clears at half health. Xin Chao's jumping in, but he's jumping into 3 people, and Aurelia's in the side. They're not quite going to be able to jump in. The long-range Xerath ult, not quite going to be enough to take Corki down. He did have heal, too, so he really shouldn't have gone down there, and probably a good thing he didn't. So Corki is going to stay safe. He's trying his best. He's 2-2-5, and he's got Triforce Blade the Ruin King, but there's so far down at this point in the game that it's going to be really hard to do anything against this kind of poke and siege.
I mean, even being this far behind, like, is actually still pretty much being able to outform Caitlyn, which is pretty good on his part.
Oh, they land the hook onto Morgana, but not going to go in on it as Thresh got a Dark Bind right to the face, saying, you can attempt that, but it's not going to happen. And this is where we're going to see the siege from this CODY Eats Waffles team. They're just so strong in the wave clear. They're always going to have the wave kind of pushing in their favor. And at the same time, both the other lanes are pushing in their favor. Top lane's getting a bit of a massive wave building up, and mid lane's on their side on the other side of river. So they can stay here for as long as they really want. Look at that poke. 1 Dark Binding. That's a dead Thresh. Xerath ended up picking the kill. Amumu doesn't care about a turret, and they just forced them away. They're going to be crashing into this inhib turret about the same time the minion wave is top. Rise is going down. Down goes Zed as he tries to jump in. Great Amumu all catches 2. The Xin Chao tries to disengage, but Corki's going to go down. Double kill to Amumu, and Xin Chao is just going to stand there and take the Xerath ult because he's not going to be able to do much. He tries to jump in onto Xerath, but Dark Binding's going to land, and that's going to be a dead Xin Chao. That's an ace. They got an inhib turret. They're going to get an inhib. They're going to get the top inhib turret as well, it looks like. This could be 2 inhibs off that fight, and really the beginning of the end here for any hopes at a... They're just going to try and finish this. Rise is up in 8 seconds, so he's not up really long enough. And look at Thresh. Thresh just got destroyed there. The second Nexus turret's going to go down in just over 31 minutes. This is going to be game 2 for CODY Eats Waffles, and a 1-1 series overall. That was a great comeback.
Yeah, what a wonderful response from them to come back from that devastating game. They just, I don't know what it was during that pre-game lobby that they must have said something that they're like, okay, let's win this.
Because they got, the fact that they got that badly smashed in the first game, to come back with that kind of the same thing again, a little bit more poke, but a lot of engage and a lot of lockdown. And this time it worked. They found the picks they needed, they found the catches, and they just put Lower Division Please in a hole early on that they couldn't handle.